Hey guys, sorry to kind of upload out of the blue, but excuse me. Today we got a Nintendo Partner Showcase, and yes, as you might have read from the title of the video, what does that mean? I'm going to make an observation here real quick. Now, if you may know, last year was a big year for Nintendo fan service. I mean, we got Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Pikmin 4, Super Mario RPG, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, just to name a few. And I'm not saying that Nintendo's going to try to slow the give the people what they want train. But I personally think that the reason they're being so hesitant on showing new stuff is because we're probably going to get another Direct, but this one's going to be earlier than usual. Probably going to give off some of the big names that they'll talk more about. They'll talk more about before the end of the year. And then we're probably going to get the new console. And I mean, they've already got some solid games to start the year off. I mean, Mario vs. Donkey Kong. The Mario vs. Donkey Kong remaster came out last week. And I've heard that looks fun. Well, ever since they ditched the minis-centric direction, the game actually started being fun again, so might check that out at some point. And of course, Princess Peach Showtime comes out at the end of March. They moved it up from the 27th to the 22nd, which could either be a good thing or a bad thing. Seems like everyone's kind of sold on this game now, because they showed off a lot more transformations, and to be honest, I kind of want to do it. I just gotta wait till my dad gets off his ass, buys my Barnes & Noble's gift cards, and I can go down to GameStop, pre-order the game, and then I'll be here, ready to play the game, and I'll upload the first part on launch day. We can go through it together, or alternatively, you can just watch me blindly poke at the controls until I do something that resembles gameplay. I mean, there's a lot of different shows and a lot of different time to master the abilities before the ultimate showdown with Grape, so yeah, unless Grape isn't the main villain. Who said that? I'm just kidding, it was me. Anyway, let's talk about what Nintendo might have up next. As you may know, they updated the Nintendo Switch Online thing, which was probably the closest thing we have to new games. We got a bunch of obscure titles. We got Battletoads, so that's pretty cool. I never played Battletoads. Heard it was a ripoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but kind of expressed itself. Heard the 2020 remaster was kind of crap, though. What worked in the 90s doesn't work in the 2020s and all that. But then again, people are suckers for nostalgia, so maybe. Whatever. I ain't one to criticize. So let's talk about what comes next. I kind of got off topic for a second there. I personally think we're probably going to get another Virtual Console adapter before the end of the year. Chances are it's either going to be DS or GameCube. Or maybe they'll make Or maybe to make up for that, they'll make the Switch 2, as the internet's calling it, backwards compatible with those games. Or they'll just straight up announce a regular virtual console feature and we won't have to go through the stupid payment plan again. Because, I mean, like, yes, the benefits are fun, but then there's the pros are fun, but there's the cons definitely weighing it down. Remember how for the first few weeks that the Nintendo 64 thing was up, people were constantly complaining about how buggy it was? Yeah, I do too, unfortunately. I think they should just make a virtual console and cut out the middlemen. They shouldn't just put themselves through this every single time. And hang on just a second. Anyway, sorry about that. There's like a whole day between when I first started recording this and now. But about yesterday's Nintendo Direct. Oh wait, where were we? Yeah, I remember where we were. Just reviewed my old footage, and here we are. Like I was saying, well, yesterday, I really do think that Nintendo should, not overly charge us for shit that we got for free on their other consoles. I mean, do they want to go through this every single time? Just because they want to squeeze a few extra measly dollars out of us? I mean, yes, the whole thing is kind of a value point. It is kind of a value compared to buying each and every individual game yourself, but at the same time, Also, I've received word that Mother 3 came out on Nintendo Switch Online in Japan. First of all, good for them. And second of all, maybe this is why the video should have came out a day earlier. Do not cry about it, okay? The fan translation already exists. It works. It works for what it is. And if you absolutely want to try Mother 3, save up for plane tickets to Japan. I don't know what to say to you. Okay? But do not direct your complaints towards Nintendo. They've already taken enough heat over the past 7 years without you having to voice your so-called opinion in their faces. Okay? So can you at least be decent enough to overlook this? Who am I? Who am I kidding? You people never listen. Remember the one guy in the comments section about 4 years ago saying, hey, at least Gino was a Mii fighter costume? That was me. While everyone was saying, why isn't he in Smash? At least they didn't forget him. There are actual characters that they've completely forgotten about, and so is the fandom. Even the fandom's forgotten about them. Like the Sprixie Princesses? Oh yeah. Nintendo hasn't done anything with them since 2015. Almost a decade. They didn't do anything with them in 3D World outside of you saving them. After that, hey Dad.
That's super loud up in the living room.
I'm trying to record. Yeah, like I was saying. There's just been a ton of this crap. More and more over the years. Why can't people just be grateful? I mean, yes, there are a number of things I've been asking Nintendo for too, but at least I'm willing to make do when they don't give it to me. You idiots are always asking for more, more, more. Nintendo just gave us the best games we've had in years, and you idiots are still up their asses. I don't even know what to say to that, okay? I've just had to deal with this so much. It feels like such a losing game. Anyway, like I was saying, before I turn this into a vent video about my feelings towards the Nintendo fandom, the next console, I don't think it's going to be a Switch 2. I think it's going to be a more grounded console with probably a better name than the Switch 2. Because honestly, I think if Nintendo should have learned anything from the last 10 years, it's that making sequels to your consoles doesn't work out, okay? Also, you really gotta think about stuff like this. The Wii U itself wasn't a piece of garbage. It was kind of a victim of circumstance. But the fandom convinced themselves that this thing was such a bona fide piece of shit that all they had to do was just wait for the next console. You know, what's crazy is the Wii lasted this. The Wii didn't even last this long before they moved on to the next console. Yet the Switch is still around and kicking, even as it approaches 7 years. I mean, yes, everyone has started thinking about the next console, and admittedly so have I. I mean, they've done everything they've set out to do. We got 2 new Kirby games. We got a ton of new Mario games. We got sequels to stuff that we thought would never get sequels, remasters to stuff that we never thought would get remasters. You know, I think Nintendo accomplished everything they've set out to do. Now they kind of have 2 choices. Do they push the console a bit longer, or do they announce console number 2, or do they announce Nintendo's Generation 9er? And no, I don't think it'll be a Switch 2. Everyone's thought that for years. I don't think it'll be a Switch 2, okay? So my big question is, what's Nintendo gonna do for my launch, my lineup would probably be like new Mario game. Would probably be new Mario game, Mario Kart 9, and maybe Metroid Prime 4. Maybe. I mean, yes, it is a subject of debate whether Nintendo have forgotten about that or they're just waiting for the right time to show it. But look, you want one piece of advice for the next console. If anyone at Nintendo's watching this, here's one piece of advice for you. Please make the eShop more selective. Please. I don't think people can go through that again. Also, again, please don't whine just because Mother 3 didn't come out on Nintendo Switch Online in America and, kind of everywhere else.